How much influence can a couple carry, especially when they're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and they've just returned from a triumphant visit to Nigeria? This is the question that has been on everyone's lips as we take a closer look at the resounding success of the Sussexes' Nigeria visit. Harry and Meghan embarked on this journey not as relics of a bygone era, but as proactive agents of change. Their mission was clear: to foster a deeper connection with the Commonwealth, independent of the traditional royal institution. And what a reception they received! Their visit was a whirlwind of public engagements, community outreach programs, and high-profile meetings. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the serene countryside of Enugu, the couple's charm and warmth were palpable, as was their commitment to making a real difference. But while the Sussexes were making headlines for all the right reasons, whispers of interference from the traditional royal establishment began to circulate. It seemed they were not content to let Harry and Meghan shine independently. The royal institution, often acting through the British media, attempted to downplay the significance of the Sussexes' visit. They painted it as a desperate attempt to cling onto royal status, a hollow gesture aimed at maintaining global influence. However, this narrative fell flat. Why? Because the people of Nigeria saw through it. They saw the sincerity behind Harry and Meghan's actions. They saw the genuine desire to connect, to understand, and to contribute. They saw not a couple clinging to their past, but two individuals embracing their future roles as global figures. The royal establishment may have hoped to overshadow the Sussexes, but their attempts only served to highlight the stark contrast between the old and the new, the rigid and the flexible, the controlling and the liberating. The Nigerian people welcomed them with open arms, recognizing them as global figures, not merely former working royals. The Sussexes' visit to Nigeria was not just a success, it was a resounding statement of their enduring relevance and influence, independent of the royal establishment. And that, my friends, is the power of purpose over protocol. Following the success in Nigeria, another African nation extends a warm invitation. But who is it this time? It's Ghana, promising a grand welcome for the Sussexes. Ghana, a nation rich in culture and history, is preparing to roll out the red carpet for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The invitation is not merely a formality, it's a testament to the growing influence and global appeal of the couple, who have managed to transcend their royal titles and establish themselves as global figures. The details of Ghana's invitation are as grand as one would expect. The couple will be provided with top-notch security, ensuring their safety throughout their visit. They will reside in the finest accommodations Ghana has to offer, embracing the warmth and hospitality that the nation is renowned for. But the invitation doesn't stop at luxury and safety. The couple will be meeting with dignitaries and celebrities, engaging in conversations that matter, and forging relationships that extend beyond the usual pleasantries. It's an opportunity for the Sussexes to connect with the people of Ghana, to understand their hopes, dreams, and challenges, and to share their own experiences and insights. These visits, as we've seen in Nigeria, are not just about shaking hands and posing for pictures. They're about building bridges, about understanding and respecting different cultures, and about making a genuine difference. They're about showing the world that you don't need a crown to make a positive impact. Ghana's invitation, like Nigeria's before it, highlights the importance of these visits in forging genuine relationships with the Commonwealth. It's a chance to step outside the grip of the British monarchy and engage directly with the people, to listen to their stories and share in their experiences. As the anticipation builds for this grand visit, one thing is clear. The Sussexes are not just former working royals, they're global figures, with a purpose that extends far beyond the palace walls. This is not a vanity project. This is about forging genuine relationships with the Commonwealth outside the grip of the British monarchy. As the anticipation for the Sussexes' visit to Ghana builds, so do the whispers of interference from the traditional royal establishment. It's a tale as old as time, really. The royal establishment, like a puppet master, pulling the strings from behind the curtain, always trying to control the narrative. But this time, it's not about a scandal or a faux pas, it's about influence. You see, Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have a certain sway. They're global figures, respected and admired by many, and that's something the royal establishment seems to have a hard time digesting. The institution, it appears, would rather keep the Sussexes within the confines of their predetermined roles, which, unfortunately for them, is a ship that has long since sailed. And in a rather predictable move, the royal establishment is attempting to flex its muscle once again. This time, it's by scheduling a working royal visit to Ghana in 2025, just as the potential visit by the Sussexes is being discussed. It's a classic move. Send a royal ahead of the Sussexes, subtly undermining their impact. It's like a game of chess where the royal establishment is always trying to be one step ahead. The same playbook was attempted in Nigeria. The palace tried to downplay the significance of Harry and Meghan's visit, but the people had a different idea. They welcomed them with open arms, embracing them not just as former working royals but as global figures. And now Ghana is preparing to do the same. The royal establishment's attempts to control the narrative are transparent to those who are looking. It's not about the titles or the fanfare, it's about control. But the Sussexes, savvy as they are, understand the game. They've seen it played out before, and they're not easily swayed or silenced. So, as we look ahead to 2025, it's not a question of whether Ghana wants the Sussexes. The people are ready to roll out the red carpet, to welcome them as figures of global influence and respect. The real question is, how far will the royal establishment go to try and stop them? But perhaps the most important question is, will it even matter? Will the royal establishment's attempts to control the narrative, to subtly undermine the Sussexes, really hold any weight? Or will the people, as they did in Nigeria, see through the smoke and mirrors and welcome Harry and Meghan with open arms? The question isn't whether Ghana wants the Sussexes. The question is, how far will the royal establishment go to try and stop them? Critics might claim the Sussexes are merely maintaining their global influence. But the reality? Harry and Meghan have found something far more valuable than outdated titles. They've found purpose. Harry and Meghan have discovered a mission that extends beyond the confines of a palace, a mission that's rooted in the real world. Their purpose is to connect, to understand, and to make a genuine impact where it matters most. It's not about clinging to royal status. It's about reaching out to the people, listening to their stories and sharing their own. Their purpose is not shaped by royal protocols or dictated by tradition. It's driven by their commitment to social justice, mental health, and the environment. It's about amplifying voices that often go unheard and highlighting issues that are often overlooked. Now let's talk about their cautious approach. Harry and Meghan are no strangers to the games of the royal establishment. They've seen the playbook, they've been the target. Yet they remain undeterred. Their focus is not on countering the moves of the palace, but on fulfilling their purpose. They understand that their mission is bigger than the petty politics of the palace. And despite all attempts to control them, the Sussexes have managed to remain influential. Their influence is not derived from an inherited title, but earned through their actions, their empathy, and their authenticity. They've shown that one doesn't need a crown to make a difference. All it takes is a heart that cares and a resolve to act. The royal establishment might continue to interfere, they might continue to try and control the narrative. But will it really matter? Will it diminish the impact that Harry and Meghan are making? Will it silence the voices they are amplifying? Will it overshadow the issues they are highlighting? History has shown us that the Sussexes are not easily silenced. They've faced criticism, they've endured scrutiny, and they've weathered storms. Yet they've emerged stronger, more resilient, and more determined. They've shown that they are not just survivors, but change-makers. They've proven that their purpose is not contingent on royal approval, but on their commitment to make a difference. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Sussexes' journey is far from over. Their purpose continues to guide them, their resilience continues to inspire, and their influence continues to grow. And as they prepare for their potential visit to Ghana, they carry with them not just the hope of a nation, but the promise of a brighter future. So to those who question their relevance, to those who doubt their influence, and to those who fear their purpose, we say this: Harry and Meghan are not defined by their titles but by their actions. They are not confined to the palace but connected to the people. And more importantly, will the royal establishment's interference even matter? As history has shown us, the Sussexes are not easily silenced.